Hey guys, it's Stretch. First off, I'd like to thank everyone that watched my first video. Your support and feedback is key to helping me bring the best content possible, and it can't be done without you. If you missed that video, I'd recommend watching it before this one, as it provides some basic information concerning Ashes of Creation. In this video, I look to expand on a previously mentioned buzzword, dynamic, as I think it is the most important aspect coming to the game. I'll do this by citing information that the game developers have already told us, comparing this to other games, and providing you guys a scope of how big this concept truly is. Before we dive into the game and its true potential, I'd just like to thank you for clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me. I'd also like to explain the footage I'm using for this video. Some of it will come from a different MMO, Guild Wars 2. It will come into play for certain sections of this video. With that out of the way, let's begin. What comes to mind when you hear the word dynamic? When I hear it, I think of evolution. Google defines dynamic as a process or system characterized by constant change, activity, or progress. Combining this word with an MMO can create many wonderful things, its main purpose being to eradicate the feeling of boredom. If the player experiences the same thing over and over again, they're going to tire out and stop playing. This is why dynamic systems are so important in games, especially MMOs, because they're intended to be played for years, even decades. Many MMOs have been scrutinized by their player bases because the world and content never changes and evolves. If a game-changing MMO ever comes out, it will surely have these dynamic systems. Now, I'm not saying Ashes of Creation is this game-changing MMO, but it does have the potential. I'll be covering 3 systems in Ashes of Creation that have been described as dynamic by the developers and show promise of being special. These systems are seasons, events, and their unique node system. Wow. Just wow. Have you seen some of the footage covering the seasons of this game? It is truly tremendous, so I'd recommend watching it. About a month ago, Steven and some of the game designers showed gameplay of the seasons changing right before our eyes. The snow melting when it became spring, wind moving the character and grass around, and the precipitation moving across the screen, all in pristine Unreal Engine 5, is truly amazing. But what does this add to the game? Well, besides looking absolutely amazing, which is important for aesthetics, this system will also change the terrain of the map, whether it be blocking off caves so you can't explore them, flooding or creating a river, or slowing down a trade route. The seasons will have a big impact on gameplay. One of the biggest selling points of the game is the importance of being an artisan. Certain resources may only be available in a couple of seasons, making them valuable to collect, even to the point of warring over territories that contain such materials. I am personally very excited for this aspect of the game. Having to make a plan of when and where I'm going to get a certain rare resource because other people may want it as well. This creates competition in the market and fuels the game's economy. In the community, one of the most debated topics is how long each season will last. The only information we've heard is that they are planning on having 1-week-long seasons. Right now though, I wouldn't count on it. The developers have shown that they will listen to the community and adjust things as needed, so if this 1-week system doesn't work out or is unliked, then they will change it. I'm looking forward to hearing more news on seasons, and I'm open to discussing them in full for a video. Besides static quests that everyone can access, Ashes of Creation plans on using dynamic events to shake up the gameplay. Dynamic events come in the form of random objectives that can be found all over the map. The possibilities for these are endless, and the devs have shown a lot of excitement surrounding this area of gameplay, especially my god Steven. The implication of dynamic events can create a solid foundation for the possible endgame that is to come. Though at this moment in time, I'm not interested in talking about endgame, as I feel the community should be more interested in core gameplay mechanics. Overall, I feel Guild Wars 2 is the perfect example of how games should use dynamic events. These events are important in the game and are fun to participate in since they have the chance to create a train of events. Let's imagine you help take back a camp that is being overrun by ogres. Once you successfully clean the camp, a clan leader may ask you to kill off the rest of the ogres who are taking refuge in a nearby cave. This creates an opportunity to have storylines and character progression that truly gets you immersed in the world. The only problem with this in Guild Wars 2 is that the events are shown through UI, which removes the exploration factor from finding them or figuring out where they're located. We currently don't know if this is how Ashes of Creation will notify their players, but again, I wouldn't worry about it for the same reason as before. The developers will do everything in their power to get it right. Rounding off the lineup of dynamic systems in this video are nodes. You may be wondering, what are nodes? Nodes are settlements that will change and evolve depending on multiple factors like the node's level, population, and cultural influence. Nodes operate on a 6-level scale, with the lowest level of 0 being wilderness and the highest level of 6 being a metropolis. Upgrading a node is supposed to take weeks and even months to complete, making them very time consuming and valuable. You can become a citizen of a node by purchasing a house inside said node. Becoming a citizen of a node allows you many benefits, including access to limited service buildings, crafting stations, and religions. The reason this system is dynamic is because the node's progression can change. A once bustling metropolis can fall to a simple village and vice versa. This change in progression can even be tied back to dynamic events. The developers have given the example of a volcano tearing down a node or a goblin horde that comes to steal the node's valuables. In my eyes, this system puts a lot of pressure on the players that inhabit a node who don't want to lose their house. Even players who aren't a citizen of the node may want to help out, since it could drastically affect the server's economy. This node system is supposed to be the game's driving mechanic that influences every other core system. It will create values, rivalries, and war. We haven't seen much gameplay detailing the node system, but as we approach the announcement of Alpha 2, we are sure to hear more. In a basic way, that is what Ashes of Creation is trying to create, an ever-evolving world that is not only influenced by players, but also seasons and events. If they can accomplish this goal, I have no doubt that the game will excel. What Intrepid are trying to do with their core mechanics goes beyond anything that we've seen in the MMO genre, so it's very exciting to be active in the development process. You can help the devs out by commenting on their videos or being active in their forums. You can help me out by liking if you found this video helpful, subscribing if you want more, and commenting to let me know your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for your time, have a good stretch, and stay classy.